if you're not ready to jump into Photoshop and try this tutorial out on your own, it's totally fine, because what I did was, on the Red Wine Girl Time website, I've now added this lipstick template as well as the option to purchase a bundle pack of all of the lip colors that I created, and these are not only the colors that I have on my website. This is a range of the colors that I see most vendors are selling as far as liquid lipsticks. So hopefully you can find what you need in this bunch, or you can play around with the template and just keep changing the colors and the opacity and stuff like that. All right, let's jump into this tutorial. So you'll notice on a lot of the stock image photo websites, there aren't a lot of black models, especially in the beauty space. And so that's also what really inspired me to do this graphic. So here we find an image with basically like a nude or like a soft colored lip. And then this is a before and after of what we're going for. So create a new Photoshop document. I set it to a square, so 2000 pixels by 2000 pixels is going to give us a square image. I'm going to copy and paste the stock photo, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. So I copied and pasted the stock image, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger and center it. Once I do that, I'm going to go in and copy. Once I do that, I'm going to use my selection tool and copy the nose and paste it in place, which creates a new layer. Now I'm going to stretch the nose out to just make it wider, because one of our features is that we do have wider and bigger noses than the models that we're seeing. So you'll notice a lot of times that I'm going to be adjusting the size of the brush and the hardness of the brushes, as well as the eraser tool. That's because you don't want any harsh lines. Like, you want it to really like blend like your makeup. So once I do that, again, I'm still just adjusting the nose. So I want to make the nostrils a little bit more like, I want the nostrils to look a little bit more wider and realistic. So again, right now I'm just editing the nose. And then make sure that that's centered. So now what I want to do is I'm going to go and select the lips. And I'm going to do the same thing because I want her lips to appear fuller. So paste it in place and just bring it out, make it wider, to just create the illusion of fuller lips. Erase around it. Again, these are details that you think people don't notice, but they're going to notice, and we want this to look as realistic as possible. So once I have the sizes that I want for the features, I'm going to go ahead and first duplicate that bottom layer, and then I'm going to merge the top 3 layers. And you can see the difference in the sizes here. Now we're going to name that first layer White Model, just so that we don't mess around with it in case, you want to use it for showcasing the lipsticks on 2 different tones. Now we're going to play with some color. Hue, saturation, color balance are all great tools, and even the multiply layer, which you're going to see in a second. But these are all great tools for playing around with color of the overall image. So the first thing I want to do is I want to remove a lot of that like orange undertone. So that way when I duplicate this layer and change the layer style to multiply, you see that it's a little bit darker. I'm going to duplicate that layer again, and I'm going to hide the layer that I duplicated. I'm going to copy, merged, and now I'm going to go to my hue and saturation and again play with that color. Sometimes even the most subtle adjustments make such a huge difference. And now I'm going to duplicate that layer and again go to multiply. Multiply is like the easiest way to darken something for me. All right. And so right now I want you guys to look at the skin and not opposed to the lips, because we're going to obviously work on the lips. We always want a light layer for the lips to be able to work on top of when changing colors. So I merged all of those. I like this skin tone. This is my final selection. Now I brought back up that original layer of the white woman, and then what I did was I put it on top. I made it appear on. So I brought up the original edit, and now I'm just gonna erase around the lips. And so once again, it's important to adjust the hardness level of the outside of your brush because you want it to blend. Now I'm going to go in as close as possible to the outside corners. And I'm adjusting the sizes of the brush and the hardness of the brush as I go, because we really want this to look as realistic as possible and for it to blend. So you see the difference where I've softened up the hardness all the way over here. And so now it's beginning to blend. And so then I bring the hardness back up a little bit more. And that seems to be a little bit too hard. So I'm going to bring it down to about 84%. And that is my money maker. And anytime you're not satisfied with like an area that you're erasing, just go back and undo and tackle it again. See that? Now we're getting a really nice clean outline of these lips. So I'm going to change the opacity on that lip layer. I'm going to duplicate it and hide that layer. I always duplicate layers because you just never know when you edit something in a way that you don't like or you want to be able to reuse it. So again, playing with that color of the lips because we want to make it lighter. And now I'm going to just go ahead and stretch this out because we like full lips. Okay. So because I'm sure that I like what I see, I'm going to go ahead and merge this layer. And yeah, now I feel like that's my black model. So now I'm going to create a new layer while also duplicating the layer of my girl. The new layer is really going to be our color layer. So it's going to be left blank for now. This is our color layer, so I just added a random color to it. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start to erase now the lips. So I duplicated the layer and put it on top, and now I'm going to erase the lip area because this is where we kind of create a mask in a sense, so that we can color or change the color of the lipstick. This is my first time recording a tutorial, so I'm definitely taking notes on how to do a Photoshop tutorial much better for next time, especially with like the verbiage, because I'm so used to just doing things. Like I said, I've been using Photoshop since I was like 12 years old. So at this point, I kind of just do things and not really know how to explain them. So I'm learning, I'm trying. So yeah, we erased the lips. But so now what you're going to notice soon is that I need to bring back in the teeth. So I'm going to duplicate that bottom layer and bring it back up. And now I'm going to literally erase everything outside of the lips. All right, now that I have a nice little teeth situation going, I'm gonna merge those layers and call it like the lip cutout. I'm gonna name that and name this layer color layer, just so that you know what you're working with if you guys download this. And now if you go through the different layer types, you'll be able to play around with whatever color you choose, and how it looks on the lips to like change that color. Did that make sense? I feel like that should make sense. So yeah, this was the tutorial. If you have any questions at all, please drop a comment below so that I can respond to it. Or if you have like specific requests for colors, then either drop them in the comments so that I can add them to the download, or shoot me an email. And that's all we got. Thank you guys for watching.